Good morning. So today we are going to make a shaken espresso beverage. And I'm just going to start by grinding my beans. Remember, I do have some ground beans that I am going to get rid of. I do not recommend pre-grinding beans. The reason why is the freshness does not last. So anywhere you go to a craft coffee place, they will recommend you not pre-grind your beans. They have a very limited shelf life. And even if you go to a regular coffee shop, one of the big names, after beans are ground, they usually only last for 30 minutes before they need to be used. Let me plug in my grinder. The original beans were already ground for a normal grinder, so I am going to grind them for an extra 15 to 30 seconds just to give it a more fine ground that will be similar to espresso. You can also look up online if you want the specific times. You want to gently overflow your hopper here. Make sure you have enough for a good tamp. Put enough pressure on it to make it nice and flat. Once again, clean off your hopper so you don't get any grinds inside your machine. There. Turn on my machine. Prep my glass. And get a little bit of a shaker. I'm just going to get 2 cups. It could be any 2 cups that will be able to stick inside of each other so that you put some fresh ice in there when the espresso is ready. You're going to shake the espresso and ice, and then have another cup that will have the actual ice for your beverage in there so that you're able to make then the beverage inside. Once again, I'm going to pull my shots looking for an 18 to 21 stream once the stream starts. There we go. I'm just getting some ice. Pour it over the ice. I'm going to get a nice gentle shake here. Like you're a bartender. Get my fresh ice. And then pour my espresso without this ice into my beverage. Usually you'll get a little bit more foam. Next time I'll use my actual shaken glass. And then you're going to top it off with whatever dairy you want. I'm going to use some coconut creamer. Look at that beautiful swirl. get my reusable straw for sustainability. I want to do what I can and do my part as much as I can for the environment. And voila. Look forward to making another beverage for you soon. Hello. So welcome back. Just to recap what we've talked about already. We've talked about great coffees. We've talked about a buyer's market, a seller's market, and now we're going to discuss the shift. So in the process of going from a buyer's market to a seller's market, there's a place of equilibrium or balance that usually triggers a shift. That it can stay or it can immediately start actually fully shifting. Right now, we're starting to see a little bit of a balance. The inventory is starting to level. The interest rates are starting to level. And now each buyer and seller are going to be able to fight for what they want in the agreement. So when you're talking about just a regular shift in general, what we're normally going to see is a change in interest rates, a change in inventory levels, maybe a sign of being level or less time of either sitting on the market, but also not a lot of time sitting on the market. And you'll see the change happen pretty relatively quickly. So like I mentioned, we are in a seller's market right now. We've been in a seller's market for quite some time. If you remember from last time, that means that the sellers can almost control the sale. That means high asking prices, also higher than normal offers to get those houses into closing. And we're starting to see a slow shift. So we're starting to see the inventory levels rise. We're starting to see interest rates level. We're starting to see really the time on the market is either leveling or actually starting to increase a little bit. You'll even notice there are a lot of price improvements coming. If you've seen any price reductions, anything like that, that's also a sign. The cool thing is when you're in a balanced market, it can be a little bit of a seller's market and a little bit of a buyer's market. That's traditionally the best. It's where people will actually be able to negotiate based on what they want versus what they need to get the close. You'll see that once we do start to fully change, the deals themselves will start to take a little bit longer to close. The inventory will increase, and the buyers will probably either stay the same or slightly decrease. So pretty much a shift in supply and demand, right? The supply will increase, and the demand will either level out or decrease just a little bit. This will definitely be a positive for buyers, as we talked about before. Buyers are totally going to be looking for a buyer's market to come, right? That's when they get to control a lot of the sale. They'll be able to put their best foot forward to be able to really get the house they want for the stipulations that they want. As we talked about even in coffee, right? The buyer is like your customer. They are going to be the ones that get to say what they want when they want it. And to be honest, like in coffee, there's tons of different tastes, different places to get it everywhere, that this is going to help the buyer to be able to finally be the picky one. The seller, on the opposite hand, will have a little bit tougher time pushing for what they want, right? So the seller is going to be the owner of that coffee shop that's going to struggle a little bit to be able to hit every single customer's needs. Trust me, I frequent coffee shops. I love coffee shops, but I will go to the coffee shops that give me what I want versus the ones that only give what they want. I'm more of a craft coffee connoisseur, so I definitely will go to the smaller places to get the flavors of the coffee that I want. And that's not everywhere that does that, right? Like, we have huge coffee places right now that make a ton of money just by doing the quick service, which real estate is not a quick service, right? We all know that. So back on to, like I mentioned, the pretty much the buyers will be a little bit happier. The sellers will be a little bit unhappier. But one good thing, if you are a real estate agent and you are also trying to manage the shift, that could actually benefit you too. If you are able to first in a seller's market, you had a pretty easy time, right? Being able to literally just get contracts in front of people and get them to sign. Now you will have had to work because, like I mentioned, deals will take a little bit longer. It's really, like I said, about what the buyer wants now, so the seller has to be willing to give that. If they are not, then the sales will definitely take longer. But as a real estate agent, if you are able to shift with the shift, you will definitely be able to be successful. There is enough, as we always say, there is enough business out there for everybody. And just as long as you are able to be patient now with your buyers and help them manage the sellers to what they want, instead of the sellers managing the buyers, I think you will become amazing at what you do and continue to make a lot of money. But when it all comes down to it, a biggest part is we're out here to help our customers find their dream homes at whatever cost that is, and we'll do it the best way possible, benefiting both sides. So welcome back to Espresso and Real Estate with Erica, but I'll see you next time. And I was thinking that next time we will discuss how to choose a mortgage broker. That'll be our next episode. Bye.